Welcome back. We have a special guest this week talking about our artist of the week, a art connoisseur. Is that fair? Mr. Abundis. How's it going?
It's me, Mr. Abundis.
Is it fair to say that you've always wanted to be in my class or co-teach with me or something, like some kind of art related course?
I would say that's accurate. Yeah. Ever since I knew the wonders of co-teaching from doing it with Mrs. Lee, then I knew that not only was co-teaching the perfect choice, but then I needed to get into that art classroom as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, didn't you co-teach with Miss Hall the year before? And so why was your wonder starting this year?
No, I know. Last year I didn't teach with Miss Hall.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I won't tell.
Except for in Lead Read Solves, my favorite class of all time.
Exactly. There it is. Okay. Well, this week, off to a good start. This week, we're talking about MC Escher, but I want MC Escher.
You do? Okay.
I do, because I really love Usher. And
But you realize that's not his name, correct? Just to be clear.
This is correct.
Okay.
But I might say Usher. Also, I think we should make a rule during this video that when one of us says Escher or Escher, the other one has to go Usher.
You think that should be a rule?
I think I'm starting that rule right now.
Glad that you
I'm
think
in charge, so that's the rule. So let's try it out. So if I say MC Escher.
Sorry, you cut out there. I couldn't hear it. What'd you say?
Are you gonna play?
Play what?
Okay, that's fine.
I missed the whole, I think Zoom's messing up. I don't know.
Let's talk about art.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. So first, let's talk about the artist himself. This is MC Escher. That's good. See? He's pretty precious. He was a Dutch artist and mathematician, which is why you're here today. He's your favorite, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So his main media was printmaking and drawing. Most of the work that you see are printmaking, and so it's either like lithographs, which is like a big metal board that you like carve into, etch things away, or lino cuts. You guys remember? Mr. Abundis, did you ever take art in high school?
I did. I took Intro to Visual Arts my freshman year of high school. So.
Oh my gosh, look at you, star student.
I don't know, guys.
Okay.
Like.
That's great. So, did you ever do any kind of printmaking? Do you remember doing printmaking?
No, we never did any type of printmaking stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. You can sign up for my mixed media class next year.
Wait,
and he was referred to as.
I just had a memory surge. This is not related to printmaking, but I did take graphic design as well in high school.
You did?
I did.
That's great. You should come help me teach it sometime. We're okay? Are we in? We're in. Okay. So he was referred to as the father of modern tessellations.
True.
So I think it's fair to say the mother birthed he's the dad. The tessellations are the baby. That's fair to say.
All right, I'm gonna get Miss Bell in on this Zoom call so she can give us the biology breakdown of mothers versus fathers and what they do.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Mom, dad, whatever. But so tessellations, it's those interlocking patterns that repeat, just like you see behind him back there. And it makes sense to do that with printmaking because essentially you're creating like a stamp, and then you can just recreate that pattern as much as you want, as opposed to having to draw it all out perfectly over and over again. So he is considered one of the top 10 most recognizable artists of the 20th century. Wow. Yeah. A mathematician made it up there.
I know.
Who would have thought? Just like you. You're just the like top 10 most recognizable.
Top
math teachers of lead. Top 10 math teachers of lead. Do we have 10?
Okay, let's go to the next slide.
Here he is. This is just a good one. I think he's kind of cute. What do you think?
He's super cute.
He's super cute. I thought you would think so too. He's precious.
He's got very sharp features.
What?
It's got very sharp features.
He does. It's a nice, yeah, absolutely. Here's some of his tessellations. And just see how they work together, how they evolve from one to the next. Kind of nice. I like the butterfly one. It's more unique. I don't know. Thoughts? Neat.
Oh, did you ask me a question? I truly didn't
I
hear.
said thoughts. I just
Thoughts.
if you have any
Yes.
thoughts on this art.
Thoughts. No, I really like tessellations. These are kind of a bit more like you were talking about how it's kind of like the evolution of the shapes. But like it is an interesting, it truly is an interesting mathematical problem to determine what types of geometric shapes you know, how can you create tessellations, like the perfect tessellations that are only made of the same repeating that fit together perfectly. Like, and it deals with something that's called isometries, which is a very high level math thing, but it's interesting. It really is a big, you know, geometric issue of what types of shapes, what are the rules that bound between what shapes can be made into tessellations like this, where they all fit together with one another, just repeated over and over again. So I think it's super cool.
So what class would you teach this in?
That was in pre-algebra. That was just super easy stuff.
This is super easy stuff.
No.
It looks pretty complicated. I don't think MC Escher would appreciate that if you just called his stuff super easy.
Sorry, super easy for me because I'm such a good artist.
Oh, okay. There it is. Great.
I thought that was implied.
All right, well, let's move on to the actual piece of artwork that was discussed this week, Relativity. Here it is. It is a lithograph print, so it's the one that's on like a metal plate that you carve away and then to create that stamp. And it depicts a world in which the normal laws of gravity do not apply. All figures dressed in identical attire and have featureless bulb-shaped heads. So something to note for that. And it's happening during when surrealism is really coming into play. Dali was really popular in the 1950s. Salvador Dali, I don't know if you're familiar.
Mm-hmm, certainly.
Yes, you are. Yeah. And so Dali was really popular and really outspoken with his mustache and his melting clocks and him showing up in pop culture all the time. And so I would say MC Escher was the more like subdued, conservative surrealist. I don't know that he would even consider himself a surrealist. But looking at this, it's definitely surreal.
It's surreal, that's for certain.
How do you interpret this piece of art?
Well, one of the big things that sticks out to me looking at these, not just this specific painting, is just the matter of perspective of all the different ways that you can look at it. In that, I mean, there's the obvious of like, you know, all the stairs are going in different directions and, you know, like you said about the gravity and such. And so I like that kind of at first glance, like if I just caught this out of the corner of my eye, I would think like, oh, there's like some stairs and some people in it. And but so it kind of seems normal-ish. It's built using normal elements of just people and stairs. But then individually they make sense. But then when you look at the image as a whole, and you're like, wow, all these kind of fit together in a very unique way. And it wasn't once what it first seemed. You know, it's like, yeah, these are just, you know, stairs and people, but how they're all interacting and sort of the contradiction of the image in just based on what we would normally think things should look like. And it goes against that. And so I really like that. And then just kind of from the mathematical perspective as well, that all of these parts together might not make immediate sense, but when you look at them individually, they do, and they can fit together in a cool way. And so we talk about similar types of things like that in math class about the different perspectives that we can look at a problem, where maybe as a whole, the problem seems very confusing, but once we look at the individual elements, we can see how they individually make sense and then start to fit those things together to create a more understandable, larger picture. So I think it's really cool. That's what I kind of think about whenever I first look at this and relate it to my own class and life and how I talk about things.
Okay, fine. You're hired. You could be the next art teacher. That's fine.
Let's go.
We're interviewing
Mom, I got the art job.
We're going to scrap all the other options and you are it. It's perfect.
Great.
I like it. No, but really, I completely agree. As you're talking, I'm also noticing, can you see my mouse at all?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So this guy right here stands out to me more than the others. I think because there are 3 different parts of like gravitational pulls within this. But all of the ones that seem like they shouldn't make sense seem to be like holding on for the most part to something, to a railing. Yeah. And this guy is just sitting there like creepy McCreeperson up there. And so I don't know. I think that one's the one that just really throws me off. But I love the math behind it. I'll come co-teach with you, okay?
Okay, great.
Okay, great. Let's look and see what a couple different people said this week. So Eliza said, this artwork is definitely an example of organized chaos. The angles go here and there, sideways doors greet you at the top of the stairs. There are 2 people literally on the same staircase, yet they're positioned differently. Even with the weird arrangement though, it comes out looking very neat and structured. So organized, yet chaotic. A very disorienting but interesting piece of art. I liked that interpretation.
I really like that phrase, disorienting but interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, kind of like you, I think.
What are you on a call with someone else right now?
So Clara's interpretation was unique, and so that's why I put it up here. She said, I don't know why, but when I first saw this picture, I thought that this was supposed to be the inside of someone's mind. Oh. Cool. I don't really have proof that can prove that, which, I mean, I don't know how you would prove what the inside of someone's mind looks like. But I just thought that the people that are walking around inside your mind is probably the artist thinking of what their mind is, and the stairs and the other doors represent you walking into a thought or a decision. I don't really know, but that's what she thought. And so it's a metaphor.
That's really cool. Yeah, I like that.
Is that what the inside of your mind looks like?
I think that's probably pretty close to the jumble of weirdness and contradicting things that are going on up there, that I think it might be visually demonstrated as such.
That's kind of what I imagined too. Okay, Clara is on the right track. Okay, a couple quick fun facts as we're wrapping up. So Escher was not, I know you love trivia, right? Not formally trained in math. So I refer to him as a mathematician, but he actually got terrible grades. I know. I bet he was good in art class because he went to architecture school and did graphic design. Are you upset? Are you mad?
Let's go to the next fact. That one, we'll say that one's up for debate. We don't know for sure if that's true or not.
Okay, can you pronounce, so this is his full name. I don't know how to say the first name, Cornelius Escher. How do you say that first name?
What?
That's how it's spelled. I looked it up and I thought maybe it was wrong.
Where's he from? Where's he from?
The Netherlands.
Netherlands. Let me channel my Dutch.
Yeah, do you want to do an accent or something? I don't know what that would be.
Would it be almost similar to like Maurice?
Maybe. Like the T is silent?
Yeah, like it's kind of
possible to have silent T's?
Acting is a different sound than we would consider it in English.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Kind of like abundus, like the T is silent and
yeah, let's go to the next fact.
Yeah, okay. He was left-handed, like all great people such as yourself, right?
I am not left-handed, but thank you. That was almost great. You really almost stuck the landing there, but I'm left-footed.
Cool.
I'm left-footed,
yeah.
not left-handed.
Well, Leonardo da Vinci was left-handed. So there's 2. Okay, he struggled to pay the bills as a graphic designer. So for like the first 30 years of his career, he was not popular yet. And he continued to do this kind of work. And he just did like normal commissions and things. But as you can see at the bottom fact, he had a wife named Jetta, also the name of my college car. And he had 3 sons. And he couldn't really support them. But I think his parents were rich. So that's, I don't know if that's a noble thing to mention.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure
Might as well be.
dad
Seems
and
to be the most
mom.
important part.
that's how he survived. Oh, this is interesting. So he turned down an offer from Mick Jagger to use one of his designs for an album cover. He was not into that, even though they thought his stuff was like really psychedelic and cool. He didn't like that. He wanted us to be more like math and streamlined. So he was mad.
It wasn't just that like he didn't like the Rolling Stones' music and didn't want to be associated with it. He just there's just the principle of the matter.
What they were based on like the quotes and things. He's like, no. So yeah.
Okay.
So he wasn't as cool as we are, clearly, because we would have done it for sure.
What led you to that conclusion?
Yeah, I don't really have anything. So let's go on. So I'm gonna leave you with.
You're gonna give me some pizza.
I know, we're gonna go get some pizza.
Is that vegan cheese?
Friday. So this is an art student's project where they created pepperonis based on MC Escher's tessellation right there. The geese. You love it. Or is it? Yeah. Is that a goose or a duck?
We'll say it's a goose.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You love geese though.
No.
No. He hates geese.
No.
But you love pizza.
That's great. It's true.
Okay, great. So here's the pizza in honor of him. Pretty cool.
That is really cool. Well
So
done.
I think that's how we should end this, is with this pizza.
End this with some pizza.
And then everyone should go eat pizza.
Everyone who's watching this is literally required to go eat pizza, or else you fail the class.
Must eat pizza right now. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody like this and share with your friends.
Everybody
watches these videos.
Everybody like, comment, and subscribe, please.
Okay, good. You have to plug this on your Twitch. Okay.
Yeah. Follow my Twitch name at twitch.tv/abundisdoesmath.
Oh yeah, do your plugs real fast.
No,
Anything else you need to sponsored by?
Sponsored by. No, I'm good.
Pizza. Okay. All right, we're done. Have a good weekend. Bye, guys.